Hi, Dennis Gallagher here with our devotional on day 3 for our Waiting for Messiah Advent devotional. This is about the prelude of Joseph and Mary's trip from Bethlehem all the way down to Jerusalem. Of course, we read those in just a few sentences in the Bible, but picture with me what it must have been like during those times. The valley of the Jordan River borders the land of Samaria to the west and the Decapolis to the east. Running 50 or so miles due south to the Dead Sea, it was the most common traveled route in Jerusalem, or to Jerusalem and beyond, for the Jews who lived in the beautiful area of Galilee. The more direct route to Bethlehem would take the young couple through Samaria, but no Jew would dare cross over the border of their vowed enemy. Crossing over the Jordan near Skycopolis, Joseph and Mary turned south, following the Jordan River for many miles. Speculate with me what a glimpse of the life on the road must have looked like. The road were also used by the occupying army of the Roman Empire, whose cruelty and harshness was a constant threat to all of the Jews. This was possibly the first time that Mary had ever ventured this far south, away from the familiar surroundings of her home in Nazareth without her parents. All of their food, their clothes, their supplies would have been carried with them, severely limiting the amount and the quality that they would have. And they would have to cross several rivers before reaching their turning point off northeast of Jericho. Mary was only days away from delivering her first child. During this trip, she would be subject to the added discomfort that naturally occurs before childbirth, swelling in her feet, her hands, legs, additional back pain, shortness of breath. She experienced all of this while either walking or sitting on a donkey for 4 to 6 hours a day. And remember, Mary was a girl who in today's world would not be old enough to even drive a car. One can only imagine the physical strain and the punishment that Mary was experiencing. Think also of the emotional strain that was on young Joseph, possibly in his early 20s or less. He was responsible not only for his young bride, but for the baby she was carrying that he had not fathered. All they knew was what the angels had told them. Unlike us, they didn't have the storyline written out for them. They had no idea that the week before Mary would have her child, they would be traveling the 80 miles on foot to a city where they knew no one, had no lodging prepared, no work to provide the daily food and shelter. Without exaggeration, it was the worst possible circumstance that any young couple could find themselves in. Little did they know that God considered it the fullness of time. Well, that begins the journey, that several-day journey all the way from Nazareth to the town of Bethlehem. And we'll see you soon for another day's devotional.